Hello everyone, welcome back. So, this is the game I was talking about in my last video. This game is, I think, the best example I've had in a long time of what you can achieve in a game by just having a strong mental, not tilting, and just focusing and playing the best that you possibly can. This Alawi was, look, I know a lot of people think Alawi is a really rough matchup, and trust me, I get it. Alawi is annoying, mostly because of her E ability. Alawi's E, I think personally, is maybe one of the most broken abilities in the game, if you hit it. At least it is a skill shot, so it is dodgeable. It's one of the most broken abilities in the game, I think, but only if you hit it. And if she doesn't hit it, she is one of the most useless champions in the game. She's basically a minion. As you can see, I'm not an Alawi player, so I don't know if starting E is maybe a good option even, but I think it can be. But my point is, this game is a perfect example of me getting really annoyed in the early game because I messed up a lot against Alawi and didn't dodge her E, and therefore I took way too much damage in so many trades and had to recall a bunch of times, and it was getting really annoying, but I stuck to my guns. I focused up and just made sure to utilize the knowledge that I had on the matchup and just did my very best to play it as perfectly as possible. And then we pulled back in the end. So it's really quiet right now. I had some good trades on her early. You can see she's up in CS, but I got the slow push. I got some good trades on her. And we're looking pretty good. And I have a refillable now. So now we wait for her to push us in because you don't want to trade on someone else's turn unless your jungler is here to give you some help. I think right now I told my friend, I'm playing with my real life friend again. I specifically told him, do not get hit by her E. And unfortunately, he did. And he took... You can see how much damage he took. And he gets hit again, which is highly unfortunate. But I am able to get the kill anyway, I believe. Yeah, okay. Obviously, my friend shouldn't have gone back in there. But it worked out in the end. So the reason I was saying that to him is obviously because I know the matchup a lot better than he does, because he's not a top lane main. But if you think Alawi is OP, the best way to play this matchup on any champion against Alawi is bait out her E, and then you can do basically anything you want to her. See, I had the drop on her there, but the reason I didn't keep going all in is because she had her E still. And there, she hits it on me, she deals a fuck ton of damage, and now I have to wait because when you get hit by the E... so if you don't know how it works, when you get hit by the E, there is a huge circle around Alawi, and if you stay in the circle, she will sort of keep your ghost, and she can keep dealing damage to it. But if you walk out of the circle, you will lose the ghost, but 2 tentacles will spawn near you. So as you can see here, I'm waiting for the tentacle to spawn. So that's the first one. And then, yeah. I don't quite understand like the logic of when a tentacle will actually hit you or not, But I think, you know, having the E on you definitely affects it in some way. But I don't know why that tentacle hit me right there, for example. I have no idea. But hey, if you're an Alawi main, please do let me know. I'm not going to bother Googling it right now because whatever, it's not that important. But as you can see, these trades were getting very annoying, and I was starting to get a bit frustrated at this point. But the most important part was that whenever she landed an E on me, I would just leave. Right here, I didn't, which was very silly. You can see the obscene amounts of damage I just took. And that random tentacle that I didn't kill earlier just hit me. But I couldn't kill it now because I had to keep running from Alawi. But you can see when you get hit by the E, you take such obscene amounts of damage that it's just like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. It really is. But as you can see, my friend here got the Alawi because the Alawi got overconfident because she was dealing so much damage to me. She overstayed on low HP, and I still have 0 deaths, despite taking all that damage because I left the circle on her E whenever she hit me. And that, even though it is a very frustrating gameplay loop, that is how you have to play against Alawi. It's kind of like when you play against Darius. If he hits 1 Q on you, you have to walk away until his passive stack wears off. Because if he hits a Q or, you know, any ability really, he is so much more likely to get 5 stacks on you and then kill you. So this is how you want to play against champions like this. You basically want to bait out their ability and sorry, I'm getting a message in League. Sorry about that. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the way you want to play against someone like Darius or Alawi is that, you want to bait out their ability, that one important ability, and then you want to all-in them while that ability is on cooldown. So on Alawi, the way you do that is just by, you know, your standard baiting of skill shots. You just keep walking back and forth, until they use it, and then you sidestep. Or what I like to do sometimes is, as Jax, I jump directly onto her head, and I just immediately sidestep from where I think she will throw the E. So right there, I dodge the E, and then I know I can just jump on her head and all-in her. You see how effective that was? So that's how you play against Alawi. Once you know this gameplay loop, Alawi is really not that difficult to play against. But trust me, you have to dodge her E. You have to do that. No matter how far behind you think Alawi actually is, you are absolutely obliged to dodge her E. Because no matter how far behind she is, she will deal so much damage to you that it's just obscene. I've been using the word obscene a lot, but I've never been able to get over how ridiculous Alawi's E actually is, because she deals so much damage to you with that ability. I just find it super crazy, honestly. But anyway, I'm steadily gaining progress right now, even though I was very frustrated in the early game because Alawi was getting these crazy trades on me. But I stayed focused and untilted, and I'm slowly gaining a lead. She's 40 CS up on me because I had to recall so many times, but I have no deaths, and I'm able to sort of just stay in lane. And there she used her E again, and I can just freely jump on her head and kill her. Hopefully, right? Yeah, I think she was close to getting her E back there, but It was a risk I was willing to take, I guess. But yeah, you see I'm slowly gaining back my footing because I know exactly how this matchup works. And that is the advantage of having champion mastery as well. I used to never understand how important champion mastery actually is, but this is the reason why it's so important. So, my friend that I'm playing with, he really doesn't like playing one or two champions at a time. He likes going through every champion in the game, it feels like sometimes. And, you know, I get it. I really do. I used to be like this too. And I mean, I'm still like this when I play Swift Play or something like that, but I understand. It can get very boring to play one champion all the time, and I used to be like this with Jax as well. But once I started actually getting comfortable on Jax and actually starting to understand like most of the matchups, I fully started to see it. Like, that's when it started to become fun. When you're so good at a champion that you have so much experience with the matchups that you know exactly how they work and exactly how to basically destroy your opponent in every matchup, that is, I don't think there's any better feeling than that. For example, you know, if you're a Jax main or a Jax player in general, you probably know that the Darius matchup is one of your best matchups because as long as you save your Q for when he Qs, you will never die or never lose the matchup. Unless you get camped, of course. But 1v1, you will always win as long as you use your Q when he uses his Q. And this is the kind of knowledge you will only gain from playing the matchup a lot. And that's what's so fun about one-tricking. Like, sure, playing a champion over and over and over and over again isn't fun in itself, but having that knowledge on matchups is just, it just feels so incredibly good. And I don't know if there's any better feeling in League than just having complete control of a matchup and knowing just, you know that you won't lose because you are so much more experienced at the matchup than your opponent is a lot of the time, especially in lower elos because people tend to just play whatever they feel like on that current day, you know? So this game is just a perfect example of this, and as you can see by the timer, this game is almost over already. And, well, that's how hard we stomped them. Ilaoi is currently 0-6, even though she looked like she was dominating me in the early game. She's still up by a lot in farm. She's up by 40 CS. Oh, right. Yeah, they surrendered. So she was up by 40 CS, but she was 0-6 because she didn't know the limits of her champion or how my champion works. She didn't know the matchup. And I just stuck to it. I focused. Like, I was so focused that game on just dodging those E's. That was all that was going through my mind was dodging those E's. And as long as you know that, you know, they say that the first 5 minutes of the game are the most important, or that's the most important time. And they are not wrong. Whoever they are, you know, good players will say that the first 5 minutes are the most important parts of the game, and that nothing could be more true. Because what doing well in lane does for you is that not only does it help you destroy your opponent, but if you do really well in lane and you don't die, what that also does is that it opens up for your jungler to help other lanes instead of going to your lane. So if you can manage on your own, that indirectly helps your team. Not only doesn't your opposing laner get fed, of course, but if you don't need help in your lane, that opens it up for your jungler to help other lanes. And your mid laner, for that matter. So I'm starting to really understand how important those first 5 minutes, or the start of the laning phase actually is. And I hope this game displayed that for you as well. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.